Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home, and Christmas is definitely in the air at this point. We're back with Colleen from TERRA, and if you haven't done your outside urn yet, it's time to get cracking.
Definitely.
Right, and I love walking into this room here. It's just so much fun. It's full, it smells good, it smells fresh, all different types of greenery, and we're going to talk about, again, making one from scratch on your own, or just buying one all done, all of you lovely girls here at TERRA, which makes it really easy for somebody who's a little bit restricted by time. So.
Exactly. And what I also want to show is how you can buy one and kind of have like a half-made homemade, so you can make it your own and still say, I did it.
That's what I did last year. So sometimes I'll get you guys to make a whole one for me. But last year what I did was I just bought all the greens all done. So that part was done for me. And then I just had fun and bought all the little bits and pieces, which you can do here.
Exactly.
And then you make it your own.
Exactly.
Right, so that's what you're going to show. You're going to show us some tricks.
So this is kind of a basic planter that you can already get pre-done here. It's easy pickup. And then if you just want to kind of class it up or grade it up a little bit, then you can just get like a little bit of extra bling. These are called Jenga pods. I'm just going to put a few extra things in there just to make it a little bit more substantial. And
what's awesome about you right now, Colleen, is normally you wouldn't build an urn facing away from you, but
Very
of course
true.
for TV right now, you're showing your special talents.
Exactly. You know, normally you do it facing yourself so you can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to add an extra little bit of the decorative mesh here.
Now, are you, what are you seeing with trends right now for this year for urns? Because there's always sort of, I mean, obviously there's all different color themes. Some people like the more traditional, and that will always be there.
Yes.
But then sometimes you'll see, you know, a color that comes through more than others, or certain decorations that are more prevalent.
Red is always extremely popular. It's just always that signal of the season. So something like this is very festive with a little bit of the white and the red. It kind of gives you that peppermint kind of feel to it. So it's nice and fresh and quite festive. We're also finding that the naturals and golds and naturals are really, really popular. So kind of a different twist on the extra blingy super metallics, and kind of bringing it down, which I'm going to show you in a minute, how to put some naturals with some metallics.
Yeah, so that's the thing, you can have fun, and you really can go with, you know, the color schemes or your favorite colors that you like, and it sometimes is an indication of what you're about to see in your house too,
exactly.
Right?
And so this one here, just color coordinating it with a few extra pieces of bling, and then you can also coordinate, let's reach back here, just by putting an extra bow on a wreath, so then you can coordinate any wreath. We already have like a whole bunch that are already pre-decorated. Add a bow and you're good to go.
Great idea.
That's one option.
I like that. Very good. Okay.
Another option is this one here. If you buy just the greened only planter, the one in the front here, you can buy a bouquet of bling.
Yes.
So it's pre-done. You don't have to make the combinations up. Just take this home, put it in there, and you're ready to go.
That makes it really easy.
So you did do it yourself.
Yes.
But you didn't have to spend that much time walking around, because you can spend hours walking around and trying to figure out what's going to go in it.
It's true. It's true. Like, I find sometimes I'll have a whole theme going, and then I see something else that's really cool. I'm like, oh, I have to go put all those back because I'm now on this. Because I do struggle sometimes with that natural look. And then all of a sudden I get really tied into the reds and Christmas sparkle. And
the one nice thing here is there are so many different color combinations, and our designers at all the stores each have their own little flair.
Yes.
So you can get inspiration from that, and you may find one that you like extremely well, or you can pull out different elements from all of those ones and make it yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's what's great about you guys, because you are also artistic, and it is great to see some of the pieces done up. And then, as you say, it's just good inspiration.
Exactly. So this one here, I just want to show. The metallics are still quite big, but just we're presenting them in a different way. So the ornament balls, still easy, fast, and very quick impact.
And it's amazing how even if you have like zero creativity or talent, you start putting stuff like this in a thing. It's amazing how you're like, wow, I'm good.
Oh,
I am really good at this.
And especially when you choose like larger bling, then it goes a lot faster. Like you don't need as much of it. When you start pulling out little bitty elements, then it takes a little bit longer to do.
And I guess you have to look at, you know, if you're going to have this right up against the house, what type of pot you're putting it in. Some people have them in urns where you're going to see 360, you're going to see all sides of it. So, you know, or others you can just kind of put all the decorations near the front.
Yeah, and with this one here, I am doing it mostly towards the front, because most people don't have a whole lot of space on their front porch. So you put all of the money in the front, and then that's when you make the impact that way as well. And the other thing to keep in mind too is just keeping it simple. You know, keep different textures, try different sizes. And then you can get like different ideas going on in there too.
But you're right, this is nice. It's just like the simple creams and whites and golds. It looks great.
And then you don't have to do the ribbon or the mesh, but it's just kind of a nice fluffiness to it. And then just, you know, adding some little touches here. here and there, thinking of different colors, different textures, different sizes to put in there.
And at the end of the season, you can keep your decorations aside, and then I find I end up buying a few more, in the new year, and then you can kind of sort of amalgamate them and put them all together and what works, and that way you have a whole bunch to choose from, and then you can kind of.
And other than the gold twigs that are in here, many of these things, just save them and they'll last from year to year.
Sure.
So they'll last for a few seasons, and you can save some money that way too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you still are a little bit tight on time and you do have some bling left over from last year, or you're not sure how to put it together, come and see our designers and we can build it for you.
That's a great thing. So you want to start from scratch. What do you need to do? You obviously need to get your pot.
Yep, pot.
And just any old soil mat doesn't.
Yeah, the heavier the better. Okay. In this case, you want it to hold moisture. So like a triple mix, topsoil, black earth, any of those kind of down and dirty garden soils.
Okay.
Something like that.
Because these guys need moisture.
Yes, they do.
Are they going to dry out quickly?
You basically consider it as a cut flower arrangement.
Okay.
So when you're putting in your fresh greens, if you're putting in any fresh greens, fresh cut, put it in the soil, water it until it freezes.
I remember you saying that last year. That's a really good tip.
Yeah, water it until it freezes, and that keeps it hydrated. We use BC pine and cedar just because it holds its color a lot better. The Ontario pine and cedar tends to be a little bit yellow-green.
They do start to go yellow, don't
nothing wrong with it, but as a design aspect of it, we just prefer the greenery.
And it really is nice to have the mix, as you can see, because of the color and texture variations throughout it. It just, and I mean, it's any little tips on cutting and preparing and
we waste nothing. So you might have like a 2-foot long piece of cedar, but you can cut it down and use every little bit in it, as long as you don't see the cut ends when you're putting it in.
Sure.
And you can also hide a lot of things with your accents that you're putting in.
Good point.
And accents not only have to be like flashy things, they can be natural magnolia, they can be eucalyptus, they could be other natural twigs like pussy willows or flame willow or different things like that too.
Right, exactly. So again, we're kind of showing different types here, but of course, as you say, there's that real natural, really going with, you're seeing a lot of the birch and lots of really natural pieces where you don't need to have any sparkle in there at all.
No, not at all. Like you can use, there's a lot of whites and things too, so like naturals and whites really pop, so then you can use like natural white lantern or houses, like think outside of the box of what things can go in there too. Like we're using florals that are typically used inside.
Right,
exactly. So, depending on the quality of the florals, these ones are pretty good quality, so they'll last for a couple seasons. But you could also use less expensive ones, and they just won't last as long. But these ones will hold up quite well.
And I guess it depends on the exposure as well, too, right?
Definitely.
And if it's sometimes we don't know what December will bring us in terms of weather conditions, but we know last year what it brought us.
Yes.
The average, hopefully, we don't get another ice storm, but that's a whole different beating on these type of things, right?
Yes.
But for all of us. But again, it's easy. You can either start from scratch. All the greens are here for you, or come in and. You guys are good at this stuff, and it's always nice to say, hey, I want these colors, and they make it for you. It's awesome. Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome.
Good stuff. All right, we'll have more Terra at home after this. When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Sumati from TERRA, and we're getting ready for the holidays.
It's that time of year.
It is, and already, because we have a very short period of time to celebrate with all of the many friends and family that we have, we start early and we start soon. So it's time to start talking a little bit about entertaining and different ways of entertaining in terms of just casual cocktail to full-on dinner spreads and all the little things that you need in between.
It always feels like it's really early and Christmas comes too soon, but nobody wants to be rushed at the last
No.
minute either. So now's the time to start thinking about it, start deciding what you want to do, how you want to dress your table, whether it's just drinks with friends or, like you say, more formal dinners or maybe Christmas brunch. So depending on your style and what kind of occasion you're celebrating, we have a whole slew of different items to set your table, even if you just want to add a little something different to what you already have, or you want to go all out and change the table setting altogether.
And that's what's great, you know, if you're having people over, you want to make that, you know, it's that time of year, everybody just has that association of cozy and festive.
You want it warm,
exactly.
you want it sparkly.
Yes, you do, and you want people to walk in and say, wow, it looks so good, and it feels good, and it's just that time of year. So why don't we take a look, and we'll start with, again, just this table alone. You've designed it so that we can see different elements and different styles. So you can go from really super sparkly.
So we've told a couple of different stories here, depending again on your style or how your decor is in your home. So we have a silver and white story, lots of fun stuff, and really nice decorative pieces. So great. The placemats underneath, they're so pretty that they can almost be used without a charger, right?
So
it dresses
beautiful.
the table so
Absolutely,
nicely.
absolutely.
And this pretty runner with a little bit of sparkle on it too. And then, you know, you're really having a party, evening, more fun. There's table confetti, fun
there's
stuff.
we have a lot of silver and white themes this year at TERRA too. So it's just beautiful, and there's something about that. Again, silver and white in itself is very much
crisp,
just
sparkly.
Yes, absolutely. So that's very nice. And again, as you say, that can take you really up to a very fancy kind of dinner.
And even for New Year's, because it's not really screaming Christmas, it's just sparkle and festive season.
Good point.
So
all right.
Silver and the gold will do the same thing in that way. We've got great Christmas crackers too, so there's really pretty ones if it's for Christmas.
Oh, I know, I love these ones that look like birch.
Aren't they gorgeous? Beautiful. And birch is so on trend right now that it's
so
really, really striking. Nice, just a little bit of sparkle, something subtle. And speaking of New Year's, we have some fun shot glasses. A lot of these things can be hostess gifts as well as buying for your own home for entertaining.
Yeah, that's where this is a really big crossover here. They really are, or teachers' gifts. A lot of them you can see how they would cross over easily.
And some really nice things like we have some little place card settings, and same with that little reindeer there. He holds a little card, like it's just fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really great drink markers.
Oh, is that what those are?
These
all those
ones,
little deer?
all these little laser cut felt. It's really, really strong trend right now, and we have some beautiful different pieces. These drink markers are one of my favorite things. They're so fun.
They're very cute.
They're in little reindeer shapes. We have snowflakes, Christmas trees, something a little different, and also a drip catcher.
That too. And as you mentioned, the laser cut felt, you're seeing that everywhere. If we look at this, the red right here and the green over there, it sort of kind of takes you back a little bit.
And it's nice. It's a nice way to get something really intricate, and also, you know, it is relatively washable. Not quite white, but you know, you can soak that through.
Sure, sure, absolutely. And everybody loves, I mean, the red at Christmas, of, you know, if you want to stay as traditional as possible, red and green, as we know.
And something a little more dramatic, nice to use as candle holders, or even something a little different. You can fill some of these vessels with chocolates or candies or little nibbles like that.
And these take you through, when you have something like this isn't necessarily screaming Christmas at you. When you put it with Christmas ornaments and that type of design, then
that's
yes.
right.
But you can take that through the whole winter, right?
Exactly. They can lend themselves to different seasons, and again, it's about pieces that are suitable for Christmas, add a little sparkle, but can also be worked into your decor.
Exactly. Now, we also want to talk a little bit about some of the little nibblies, and again, obviously, when we're having people over for cocktails or maybe a little pre-dinner appetizer, we have lots of really great ideas. You know, and again, as you're talking as gifts as well.
We do. We have some really nice pieces for the foodie in your life who might enjoy cooking. We have tagines. We have some really nice gourmet pieces, and also add-ons that can be fillers for a hostess basket or just stocking stuffers. Lots of really great hot chocolates and fun holiday candies.
We have the best flavored hot chocolates ever.
We do. You'd be hard pressed not to find the flavor you like. There's also some drinks like buttered rum and little packages like that too. So some really yummy pieces.
They're one of those things you could actually put like a hot chocolate in someone's you know, advent calendar, a different flavor for every leading up to Christmas. You just about could, yeah.
Right? And some really are fun, so they're nice. They're an add-on to another gift.
Yes.
And we have some, you know, things like that are fun for whether it's children or adults. You're looking for something small. It might be the person that you're buying a big gift for, but you can put together a nice little basket.
Exactly, and that's the thing, you know, obviously with stocking stuffers, it's just easy to buy all kinds of cool great little things. You know, you have that the baked brie, a girlfriend of mine bought me a few years ago. It was like one of the best gifts ever.
And we
It's
actually
such a
have really
great
nice
thing.
sets that are gift friendly. So
Right.
they're well boxed. They come
Yes.
with everything you need. So it's a nice way to do something other than just sort of trying to find a way to wrap that ceramic piece at home.
Well, it's true, and you know what? And those are great ones to just have on hand in case people do stop by
I do.
and you don't have a gift, and they have a gift, and you're like, oh,
And I always
just
do
a
that
second, I
with-
have one for you.
I always do that with bottle bags or
Yes.
something like that. Have
Yes.
one at home because inevitably there's that Sunday morning where you realize you've got to go out and you have maybe time to stop at the liquor store and pick up a bottle of wine, but
So
you
true.
need a bottle bag or something to give it to the men. So-
Actually, we have this one here too, which is really cute, and there's a whole variety of these. But I love how this is just so natural. But and again, it's festive, but it's not necessarily.
it doesn't have
has
to be Christmas. That's
So
right.
This is great. This can take you right through the winter season, and this is perfect from this point forward, right through. So we have a lot of really good ideas for that. Now let's look on the other side of us here, and again, we have, as we were referring to, some great, again, in terms of decorations and more gift ideas.
Something a little more natural is your style, then we have another offering. So it's less sparkly, more subdued, more on the natural side of things. And it goes right through the whole winter season. So it doesn't just have to be Christmas. It's not a lot of Santas, but something that's nice and warm for the season. And again, also nice gifts if that's the fit.
And that's the thing. So we're seeing everything right now. And as we make our way through all of our TERRA shows from this point forward, leading up through to Christmas, we're going to be featuring a lot of what we have here at the store. But it's just you walk in, you're like, oh, I don't even know what theme I want to have this year, right? Because you're seeing, what are we really seeing with trends, or is it just, again, always appeasing to both kind of people?
There's always something a little bit different that you want to bring in. You want something new to add to what you have. Not many people are going to completely change their Christmas at home.
That's
each
usually
year.
a slow
Right, you
process,
tend to
right?
build up over the years your
Right.
collection of Christmas ornaments and Christmas decor. And so what we've got is a lot of really classic Christmas colors and themes and pieces that will work into your home decor or your Christmas decorating, but will be a little bit different, a little bit new. So a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of glass. There's a lot of return to, like we have mercury glass here.
Yeah, you see, it
and
just takes
little
you
bit
back.
touches of vintage pieces.
Absolutely. And so again, just from looking at this table, you can see all the different styles, different designs, and as you mentioned, Sumati, it's not about a complete overhaul. And you know what? I remember my mom did that one year. She decided our tree was going to be pink and white, and that's what was going to happen. But and once in a while people do that. But
it's fun to do.
You're
but
tempted.
It is. It's tempting, especially when you walk in and you go, oh wow, I'm really in love with that thing. But it's obviously, the reality is we're not all redoing our entire homes or Christmas decor. So
thank you
great
so
to have
much.
pieces.
Always good and always fun. It's Christmas time around the corner. That's it for now. We'll have more TERRA at home. When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning, welcome back to TERRA at Home. We are at the Spectator Go Kitchen, so we thank you for letting us use their kitchen today. And I'm back with Chef Mark from Piazza Allegra Restaurant in Hamilton. And we're making dessert today.
We're making a dessert, yes.
Wonderful. I usually like to start my meal with dessert, so this is amazing.
And this is one of the easiest ones to make too. This is
pretty much a classic, a favorite of many, many people. Crowd pleaser.
Different depending on what country you're coming from. They call it, in Spain, they call it a flan. It's creme caramel. The French took it over, called it creme caramel. There's creme brulee. I mean, they're all basically the same thing. In Italy, it's panna cotta. It's all a cooked cream.
It's equivalent to. Okay,
that's right.
All right, you're right. Because I think because it is so, the flavors are just so
fantastic,
so comforting and fantastic that
and
it
sugary.
Just spread the world. Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's a pretty simple thing to do. There are a couple things that become tricky. One is making the caramel itself. okay?
Yes.
And the only reason that it becomes tricky is caramel goes from like this, white, to black very, very quickly.
Right.
So you just
from
have to
really
keep an eye on it.
tasty to not
Burnt.
great at all.
That's right. It becomes burnt. So all it is sugar and water, okay? And you're going to leave that alone. You're going to put it on a medium to high heat and just let it do what it's doing right now, which is a rapid simmer. And then you're going to start to see it caramelize and get that nice brown color. As soon as it starts turning brown, you got to keep an eye on that because, like I said, it'll go from that to burn very, very quickly.
Okay.
Okay? So that's that. Over here, you're going to put in some milk and some cream.
Okay.
And there's no easy way around it. You have to use 35% cream for this one.
So how come you're using milk and cream?
You won't use too much cream. If you use all cream, it'll be too thick and too gelatinous. So you need the milk to break that down, but you do need the fat in the cream to help solidify it. So it's a nice balance by using both of them. We have some eggs here. So what I've done is I've put in 3 eggs full and 2 egg yolks. Okay? Add a little bit of sugar, and we're going to whisk that together. What we're going to end up doing is tempering our eggs. So we're going to be pouring this warm cream into the eggs very slowly, and that tempers them. So it's somewhat cooking them without turning them to scrambled egg or anything like that.
Scrambled eggs inside, yeah.
Exactly.
So you have to really be careful with that, don't you? I guess the amount that you're putting in and the temperature, as you say.
That's right. So we're going to let that whisk. Now you can see that it's starting to bubble a lot quicker, simmer a lot faster, so you got to keep an eye on this. We're just going to move it around a little bit. And then you have to have some sort of a container. We're using a Teflon baking cup. Okay. You can use the porcelain ones as well, whatever you like.
Sure.
I like the Teflon. They're a little bit easier to work with when you want to get them out. You just pop it out and away it goes. We have some vanilla extract. I'm going to add a touch of vanilla extract to our cream. And
As
again,
you were mentioning, again, with in Spain, when they call it flan, a lot of times they'll make a large one,
yeah,
right?
you make a nice big one.
It's a huge big pan of it, and that's.
That's really good.
I sense you like this one, Mark.
Well, you know what? When I making a dessert at home, I'll make the big pan of it, and then you just get a nice big platter, put it on top, flip it over, and everybody just cuts.
I
into
actually
a slice.
made one. My son was celebrating Mexico at school, so I made. Everyone had to make something I made a flan, and it actually worked out. But you do have one thing, warning. I like to burn myself often, and that's sugar.
Don't touch.
No, don't touch it.
You did that, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, don't do that.
And it doesn't come off easily.
No.
So I like to experiment with, then I can tell people by experience.
Yeah.
Don't touch the sugar.
I had a chef that was in my kitchen one time, and I don't know if he never baked or whatever, but I was doing the same thing with the sugar, and I told him, I said, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
It's hot. It's hotter than boiling water.
Yeah,
so I walked out of the room. He stuck his finger in. I bet you he's never done that since.
No, you do learn from experience. Because it is so something about it. So you do have to be really, really careful with that.
And it's tempting. I mean, it starts turning to caramel. It looks good. It looks like you want. Don't put your spoon in there, and that spoon will heat up so fast. All right. So we have our cream, and it's just coming to a simmer now. Okay. And you have to be careful that you don't scald the cream. You don't want to burn that cream either.
Right. So there's a lot of opportunities to completely destroy this dish if you're not paying attention.
There are a few opportunities there for you.
Okay. So heads up. Okay, you start to see the colors.
Now you can start seeing the color, yeah. And it's coming through. So I'm going to lower the cream. Cream is done. And I'm just going to keep an eye on that while I'm whisking this. And you can see, I mean, if you added more sugar right now or you tried to add a little bit more water or anything like that, you're going to end up with crystals. So you have to be very careful that you just kind of let it do its thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a lot of people are tempted to, it's not turning out the way I want. I'm going to start mixing it around and I'm going to start stirring it. It'll sort itself out. You just got to leave it do its thing. So here we go. Now it's starting to get a nice dark caramel color. I'm going to put it on the one side and help liquefy that stuff there. And we're going to turn it off the heat.
Okay.
Because this is where, like I said, it'll go from this to black very, very quickly.
You can see even after you turn the heat off, I mean, then there's enough heat in that pan that it's still going.
Yes. It retains quite a bit. There we go.
Yummy.
Now, you're going to put that into the bottom of your cup. And like I said, it's either Teflon cup. You can do it with the Teflon. You can do it with porcelain if you prefer, or you can do a real large one.
Now, if you had a porcelain,
So it gives you an example. Look how dark
yeah,
that's
look at that.
getting
It's
very
still
quickly.
Absolutely.
That's just from the heat
you
in
need
the pan.
you don't need to spray that at all or anything?
Nope.
If it was in porcelain or anything?
Nope,
No.
not even the porcelain, because what happens is once you pour the cream in it, the caramel itself will liquefy a little
right, it
bit,
goes back
and
to
then
liquid.
it comes back, and that'll help it come out of the container that you're using. So I'm going to stir in my cream. That cream smells fantastic. You get that
It does,
vanilla.
because the vanilla in it. The vanilla with the cream. Oh, yummy. It's a very warm, soothing
It
smell.
is.
You'd want to walk into someone's home when they're making this for sure.
There we
So
go.
good.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this start to harden. So it's going to take a minute or two. You want to let this harden a bit.
Yep.
And while that's doing that, what you would do is to cook this, you're going to put it in the oven at about 325 degrees for, if you're only doing a small one like this, it'll only take about 15-20 minutes.
Sure.
If you're doing a large one, you're probably looking at about 45 minutes to do that.
Okay.
But you're going to do it in what's called a bain-marie. So you're going to put water into a pot, and then you're going to put this inside the pot with the water, but you're only going
Yes.
about halfway up. Okay?
Yep.
Put it in uncovered, let it cook for that time period, and you're pretty much good to go.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll finish up this dish. You're just going to pour that in there right now.
That's it. I'm going to pour it in right now
There
for
we
you.
go. All right, we'll be right back. More Terra at Home. When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
The Hamilton Spectator. At work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Good morning, welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra, and we have the sweet smells of creme caramel in the kitchen, finished. And again, how
Yes.
long did you keep that little guy in the oven for?
It was about 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's-
and again, if you're making a larger one, it's going to take extra time. The best way to check it is use your toothpick, poke it. If it's fairly dry around the outside, it's good to go. And if in the middle is still really, really wet, you're going to want to leave it in there a few extra minutes.
Okay, all right, easy enough. And no, this is something that you can make ahead of time, or
Yes.
no?
Yes. You can make creme caramels. They will last in your fridge, probably about 4 or 5 days.
Which is so great.
Yeah.
So again, one last thing off your list
That's
of
right. Get it
to-dos
done.
on the day of
That's right.
while you're entertaining.
Yeah. Now, because it's creme caramel, and I mean, it's all sugar and cream, and I don't
good
really
stuff in
do a
life.
lot of garnish with it other than fresh fruit. I do like fresh fruit with creme
Okay.
caramel. So I brought in a mango. I'm going to leave the skin on it, and all I'm going to do is make some nice wedges out of this, slices.
As you're doing that, I just want to remind everybody at home, you can grab all these great recipes that we have with Chef Mark every weekend on our website at terragreenhouses.com. And from everything from savory to sweet. It's always nice to see you
Yes.
experimenting with the sweet stuff too, right?
It's not my favorite thing to do, but I you know, this one is one of
As
the
you say,
easier
you
ones.
love this
I
one,
like
right?
this
So,
one. This one is a nice one to do. So, all right, and we have a little bit of kiwi here. This one is fairly firm, so it'll hopefully hold up to what I want it to do. There we go. And before we do that, what we're going to do is you're going to take your creme caramel
Okay.
and decide where you want to put it on the plate. Flip it over. Give it a couple taps. And it should come right out for you.
Awesome.
There you go. Now this one
So
could have
good.
used a little bit more cooking. You can see it's a little bit soft, but the caramel on the bottom is nice and firm. You're still getting
Yes.
that color out of it.
That is ideal. And as you say, just a little bit of fresh fruit.
A little bit of fresh fruit.
And again, in general, people just love this dessert, so it's easy to go.
It is it's an easy one to do.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Awesome stuff. All right, that's it for now. Have yourself a great weekend. See you next weekend.